Hi guys, welcome back. It's the bird season and this video is part 1 of the bird series. It's a little paper presentation guide because I believe the way you present your paper in birds does make a difference. The examiner doesn't really know who you are, so it's a good way to make an impression. And it's also about how easy and quick you make it for the examiner to understand your answers because they have like hundreds of papers to evaluate. Presenting your paper in a good way also makes it look more structured, well organized and interesting. So yeah, I hope you guys find it helpful. Let's get started. I have a few of my papers over here so that it's easier for you guys to understand. The first tip is use bullet points in your answers wherever you can instead of writing long paragraphs. You can just quickly read through bullet points. It's also easier to understand and it saves time. Imagine if you're given a piece of information on two papers. On one paper, it's written in a long paragraph, and on the other paper, it's written all in bullet points. Most of us would read the bullet points one before because it's just way easier to understand and convenient as well. Long paragraphs are also a little boring, honestly. The second one is use keywords in your answers and underline them with a pencil because like highlighters and stuff are not allowed in boards. If you've seen the boards answer keys or answer key for any of the sample papers online for your long answer or short answer question, there are a few keywords written which are expected to be in your answers. So while evaluating, the examiners look for these keywords in your answers, and if you've already underlined the keywords, that's the first thing they'd notice. And once they know that you've written all the keywords, they'll just grade you on the basis of that. Sometimes they won't even go through your entire answer because they don't usually have time to do that. So again, you're just making it way easier and quick for the examiner to understand your point by underlining the important words. This is a tip a lot of my school teachers suggested, so I done it in both my 10th and 12th grade boards. The third one is use diagrams, tables and mind maps to explain your answers wherever you can instead of writing it in longer sentences. You'll have a few diagrams to explain your physics derivations as well. You'll have a few graphs in inorganic chemistry, math and physics. So explain your answers using these. Also label them and preferably make them on the right hand side of the paper with the explanation on the left, or if you have to make it big, just make it in the center of the paper. And if you have any time left after you've finished writing and checking your paper, you can make like a box around the diagrams to make it look neater. Also, wherever you have like those differentiate questions, you can make a table dividing the paper into two parts and write the explanation for one of the part on the right hand side and the other on the left hand side. This just makes your paper look more interesting and all your information organized. Okay, moving on to the next one. Write your answers in three parts, that is the introduction, main body and conclusion. So for example, for this question, I've written like 2 or 3 lines for the introduction. Then I started with the main body. It could be a paragraph or bullet points, preferably bullet points, but also depends on your subject and the question that is asked. For the introduction, maybe you could explain the meaning of a word that is asked in the question, then start writing the characteristics in the main body. Again, all of it depends on the question that is asked. Doing this will make your answers look more structured and planned. The fifth one is something we've been told a lot of times in school. Start a new section on a new page. For example, if you finish writing section A on 2 pages, even if there is some space left on the second page, start section B on the third page. So if you finish the MCQ section on a page, just don't start writing the short answers right below it. Even if you're answering the theory questions and you have like 2 or 3 lines of the page left, don't start writing your answers there. Start it on the next page. Leave a line after every question. Even in MCQs, you can leave 1 line for the objective questions and maybe 2 for the subjective ones like the long answers and short answers, depending on your handwriting. Just make sure that it doesn't look too crowded. The board's answer sheet is really long. It has so many pages already, so just make use of it. Also for the MCQs, write the correct option and the answer along with it. Don't just write the option or the answer alone. Write both of them together. And yeah, make sure that you write the correct option, like the option and the answer you've written match. Another tip, avoid writing on the extreme right hand side of the paper. Make a margin if you want to, or just leave like a 3 or 4 centimeters gap on the right hand side. Some people do say it's for marking and stuff, but from what I've seen, marks are mostly given on the left hand side. It depends honestly, but a more important valid reason is that when you're folding your paper, even while evaluating, you cannot really see what you've written on the extreme right hand side because it's folded. So leave at least like 3 or 4 centimeters on the right hand side of the paper. Okay, now coming to what pens you should be using for your board exams. In both my 10th and 12th grade, I used a blue gel pen, Trimax from Rorito. Many people do believe that using ballpoint pens is a safer choice. So it depends. It's up to you, honestly. Use any blue ballpoint pen or a blue gel pen. It's also mentioned in the admit card what pens you're allowed to use. But yeah, definitely avoid using fountain pens. They are so risky. If they leak or if you spill the ink, it'll ruin your entire paper. So I'd say don't even carry fountain pens to your exam hall. What I used to do is fill in the OMR sheet, like the first page where you have to enter all your details, with a ballpoint pen just to be safe, and write all the answers with a gel pen. But I'd say it's better that you use one ink to write the entire paper. Also, whatever pen you'll be using, make sure you carry like 2 or 3 of them extra. So if one of it gets lost or if it fell down or you need a refill, it's better that you use another one. It saves so much time. Now, does your handwriting really matter? So it's good if you have a good handwriting, but even if you don't, it's fine, because if you've written everything neatly in an organized manner and following the tips that I mentioned in this video, your handwriting, as long as it's understandable, is not really a problem. So that is it for this video. I've used all these tips in both my 10th and 12th grade boards, so I hope you guys use these too and find them helpful. I've also shared a few of my notes on the community tab to help you guys with your boards preparation, so make sure you check them out. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next videos. Thank you for watching.